Hi, welcome back to my channel. Yes, it's long time no see. Haven't done a face video in a second, but here I am. Happy New Year. Everybody, made it out of 2023, and I know we're glad to be out of 2023. But today, we're going to be reminiscing on 2023. We're gonna be going over some popular internet events that happened last year. So let's get into it. Okay, so before we jump into this video, the first literal half of it something happened with the audio and it got really delayed, and I tried everything I could to fix it, but instead of including that part in the video, I'm just going to make them honorable mentions. So at the end of the video, future me, or I guess present me, will be back for those honorable mentions. The one thing that was missed from the beginning of the video was just me explaining that I was going to be ranking these events on a tier list from S to F, F being the worst, S being the best, and yeah, that basically is all that you missed. So let's actually get into it. So next is Dream versus the entire internet, because he somehow managed to piss off that many people. So there's a lot of reasons why Dream and the internet have beef with each other. But I'm going to start with his beef between Nicholas Cantu, which is the voice actor for Gumball. So in November, Dream was at a party and he ran into Nicholas Cantu, who was already visibly drunk at this party, and they had an interaction where somehow Nicholas ends up punching Dream in the face. And after the party is over, Dream, Nicholas, and another, I don't know if it was a friend or an influencer, but another person, they all get into an Uber together because they're all a little lit. So Nicholas drops his phone out the window while they're in this Uber. The Uber driver pulls over, lets him go and pick it up, but they get pulled over because they're just pulled over on the side of a busy highway, so they get pulled over by a cop. And Nicholas is very much so drunk and vocal about it, and he's underage, under the legal drinking age. So everyone in the car is trying to tell him, like, you need to chill out before you go to jail. You gotta relax. And they get out of that situation with the cop fine, but then he just starts going at everybody. Nicholas goes at the Uber driver, he goes at Dream, he goes at the person filming. It's a mess. So Nicholas does end up apologizing to Dream in a DM, basically, saying like he's not in a good mental space right now and he shouldn't have been doing any of those things. But right after he apologizes, he just does a 180 and he's under tweets saying like, yeah, I don't like him and da 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 da, he's this, he's that, and because apology is thrown out the window. And in mid-December, Dream decides to upload a video where he addresses every single accusation about him, that every controversy that he's ever been in, he addresses every little bit, and he brings all messages, voicemails, phone calls, everything, witnesses accounts, and he talks about every single situation that he was in. And if you're a fan of this situation, or I don't know how to word that correctly, I would say go watch that video. I'm not a fan of Dream, I'm not a Dream defender, but it was a well put together video. So I'm actually gonna put this at A tier, because the video itself, like I said, is very well put together, and he doesn't BS around about anything. And this has been something that's been going on for years. Since Dream has shown his face, he's been getting everything thrown at him. So I don't know, it's kind of like an iconic situation. So next we have Gideon and EDP. Gideon, he used to do videos where he would do a lot of pranks and stuff like that, but he worked together with another YouTuber whose name I can't remember, but I will put on the screen right now. Gideon wanted to originally do an interview with EDP about all of the things that he's been involved in, and mistakenly he invited EDP to his server where there are minors on there, and it came back to Gideon that EDP was being inappropriate with one of the minors in his server. So the interview gets thrown out the window, and now this becomes a To Catch a Predator with the other YouTuber. And they basically gather all the evidence and everything, and Gideon meets EDP outside of his dialysis appointment dressed as a cupcake. And if you don't know why he's dressed as a cupcake, it's because when he was first accused of being inappropriate with minors, he was saying, I was just bringing her a cupcake. Gideon did take partial responsibility for inviting him to his server with knowingly, there's knowingly minors in his server. He did apologize for that, which is good, because I kind of felt that way too. I'm like, why would you invite this man knowing literally the interview you're about to do about him is about being inappropriate to minors, and you invite him to a place where there's minors? But we're past that. So I'm gonna put this at D, because I don't know, it wasn't that crazy. Next we have Jada and Will Smith. I'm sick of hearing about them. I really am. And I'm so glad we're leaving that in 2023. Hopefully we are, because I don't want to hear it no more. I'm done. Basically, all of last year, Jada was just airing out Will's business and saying how, Tupac was her soulmate. And they're married. But Will, he's not innocent either. He apparently had his own little something going on when she had her own little something going on with August Alsina. So they're both a mess. It's a mess. They need to get it together. But apparently, according to them, they've been separated since 2016. So anything that happened after that is just is what it is. But I don't know. That's their business, I guess. I'm gonna put this at F tier. Like I said, I'm sick of hearing about it. I am. I'm done. I'm over them. I'm so over them. I'm done. Next on the list, we have Matt Rife versus the entirety of women. Everything about women. Him versus women in general. Plain statement. Long story short, he started on TikTok. He's a TikTok comedian. That made him blow up because women gave him a platform. We put him to that level, and now all his jokes are basically anti-woman, and he's anti-woman, and he wants to be this alpha male, but he's just a loser. I'm putting this at F tier because you suck. Next we have Ariana Grande and her man SpongeBob or Ethan Slater. They met on the set of Wicked, and they were supposedly dating in the summer of 2023. They were both separated from their partners, both of their ex-fiancés or ex-boyfriend, since the beginning of the year, I believe, earlier in the year. But they officially started dating in July. But apparently that's not the whole story. It's some little inconsistencies in their story. The same month that Ethan and Ariana got together, Ethan's ex-wife, she said that Ariana is not a girl's girl, and that her and her 1-year-old baby with Ethan are not collateral damage. So she basically said, don't play with me and my family, girl. And I took that as they were kind of creeping around. I feel like they was creeping around behind their little spouse's back, because this is not the first time Ariana Grande has been called a homewrecker. So I would not put it past homegirl. I'm just saying. I'm also gonna put this at F because we've been new about Ariana Grande. We know what type time she is. We know what type time she on with everybody, man. Be careful out there, y'all. Be safe. Next on the list is the D'Amelios versus Walmart. Dixie and Charlie, they made this brand of chips that are selling in Walmart, and they decided they wanted to make some TikToks being in the day of a Walmart worker, but they're the workers. So a lot of people did not like that they were cosplaying as minimum wage workers because they're rich. And they got a lot of hate for that, because don't glamorify me standing on my feet for a 12-hour shift, making minimum wage, not being able to pay my rent, but you're just having the time of your life. No. I'm gonna put this at F too, because I can't stand them. I'm sorry. Next is TikTok chefs versus food. Put down the mangoes. Stop sucking on strawberries. Don't finger the watermelon. I didn't think these were things that we had to tell people, but apparently it is. It's not sexy. It's cringy. Please stop. This is also going F tier because next is TikTok shop versus the consumer.
It feels like somebody wants to sell me something.
I'm so sick and tired of TikTok shop. Why is every other TikTok a TikTok shop ad? And y'all are slick. We know that this is a TikTok shop ad. Y'all try to disguise it in this little cute little girl, like, get ready with me. No, we're not buying the dress. We're not buying the dress. I'm sick of it. I just want to laugh. I just want to be on the internet in peace without being bothered by a TikTok shop ad. Please. I feel like they need to make their own little like sliver. Like, you know how there's like the following, the for you, your friends. They need to make TikTok shop ads. Like for the people who want to shop and scroll. Cause that's not me. No, I'm done. No. I'm also putting this at F because I've been sick of TikTok shop since it started. Yeah, F. Next is Gypsy Rose Blanchard versus the haters. So if you don't know, Gypsy Rose, she got out December 28th. She was in jail since 2016 for I believe killing her mother, or I don't know if it was like accessory to murder. I think she did play a part in killing her mom, but her and her boyfriend at the time slaughtered her mom. She went to jail for it, so did he. She just got out. There was a lot that happened with that case. I'm not gonna say my opinion, but look it up. But she got out of jail and she was already married. She got married in jail. In jail, y'all. We gotta step it up. We gotta step it up. How you get married in jail? I can't even get married out of jail. I don't know. But she posts to Instagram, her and her man. And a lot of people were basically hating on him, like asking him, like, how could you marry somebody that did that? How could you, you're that? And Gypsy has something to say. She said, I'm gonna stick up for my man. I'm gonna stick beside him. She was not playing with us. Gypsy said we was jealous. We was jealous because we not getting it like how she getting it. Apparently, I don't know. I'm gonna put this at S because I love her story. She's a queen to me. That's it. That's all I'm gonna say. It's a S. Next is Elon Musk versus Twitter or X. I'm not calling it X. I refuse. I know there's some X-rated things on Twitter, but this just makes it sound so bad. Like, I'm not calling it X. I'm calling it Twitter. But basically, Elon Musk bought Twitter. Then he was like, I don't want this. And now it's just gone in the trash. And Twitter, I'm done with these like corporations trying to make us pay for every little itty bitty thing. And it's like they made a feature where anybody can be verified. As long as you pay for it, you can be verified. That's I'm giving people too much power. Not everybody in their grandma verified, and nobody knows who's who and what's what. This could be Day from down the street, but he verified, so everybody think he poppin'. I don't know. It's annoying. So I'm gonna put this at F too, because I'm sick of Elon Musk. All the F's, if y'all could see the pattern, all the F's is people I'm sick of. Next we have Halle Bailey. I don't think I've ever said her name right. I think it's Halle Bailey. I don't know. But Halle Bailey and this mystery pregnancy. we knew you was pregnant. We knew. You thought you was slick, but we knew you were pregnant. And she confirmed it finally. Cause we was like, girl, I don't know. It's getting pregnant. But yeah, she has a son. Her son was born 106, Capricorn baby. Yes, me too. And we love that for her. It's just funny because we do. I'm gonna put this at See, because I've been wondering for a while if she was actually pregnant or not, and I just knew. Next on our list is the millionaires versus the submarine, or Ocean Gate. On June 18th, the Ocean Gate Titan submarine went missing on its way to the Titanic shipwreck. And on the 22nd of June, they found debris from the wreckage and all of the passengers were presumed dead. The submarine had imploded due to the water pressure. There was a lot of weird things about this entire situation. Like, the captain of the ship was specific instructions to not go a certain level deep, and he was just like, you know what, we gonna see the Titanic today, and just completely disregarded that. They also used a Logitech controller to steer the submarine, one that was bought off of Amazon. The CEO of Ocean Gate, Stockton Rush, he said sometimes safety is just a waste. So you see why this is sketchy to me? Me personally, I see that as manslaughter, because you knew the rules and you didn't follow them. And I know he's also dead, but that is just still wrong to me. But my favorite part about this was that everyone was blaming Queen Naija, as we all do, for every little thing in life. I'm gonna put this at B tier because it was kind of crazy, watching this happen in real time, every day, seeing are they still alive? Are they still alive? It was a crazy feeling. Next, we have Keke Palmer's baby dad versus Usher. So at Usher concerts, he invites people on the stage, sometimes famous people, so that he can sing to them. He does it to everybody. And that particular night, he was singing to Keke Palmer, and she had on these very sexy outfits. But her baby dad decided to go to Twitter and talk about her outfit and how it wasn't ladylike of her, and that she was dancing too close to Usher, even though I've seen Usher do so much worse on stage to people. It's a mess. But my thing is, it's you date a bad bitch, you gotta be able to handle a bad bitch. I don't know what to say. And it's also the funniest part about this to me was that nobody knew his name. We don't even know you, sir. You are Keke Palmer's baby dad. Mind your business. You're in her business. Mind yours. I'm gonna put this at A because I thought everybody coming for him on Twitter was the funniest thing in my entire life. Next, we have Ruby Frank. Is that right? Is that her name? Ruby Frank? Wait. Next, we have Ruby Frank and the leftover 7 passengers. So Ruby Frank, she is the creator of the YouTube channel The 8 Passengers, which is her husband, and her 6 children. And she would just do daily vlogs, family channel, stuff like that. But there was a lot of controversy with the way that she went about punishing her children for things. She made her son sleep on the floor because I can't remember what he did do, but it wasn't worth sleep. Nobody should have to sleep on the floor because they didn't do a chore or something, or I didn't do my homework, so I had to sleep on the floor. Wow. But she was recently arrested for basically mistreating her children. Her son and her daughter were found malnourished and shackled in their home, and when police arrived, they were the footage of the police coming to their house is crazy. Also, Ruby and I believe another mommy friend of hers that she made, Jody Hildebrand, I don't know if I'm saying that right. Hildebrand? I don't know. They started an organization called Connection? They started an organization called Connections, that's how you say it, where they basically gave parenting tips. But who would want parenting tips from someone whose children are malnourished and shackled in their home? Not me. I'm gonna put this at A. I'm gonna put this at A, 'cause this was pretty crazy. There's been some family channels that have been under fire for some crazy stuff, but this was the craziest one I've ever heard. Next is Aliens versus the World. Literally last year they just randomly announced oh yeah, aliens are real. Here's some footage. do what you will with this information. And like, that was it. That's all we heard. I'm gonna put aliens at a D. We already knew there were aliens. We was just waiting for y'all to say it, but we already knew. Next is Jeffree Star and Eugenia Cooney. So if you don't know who these two are, Jeffree Star is a beauty guru. He's been a beauty guru on YouTube for a very long time, and he does a lot of TikToks now because he's not really doing YouTube. A lot of people aren't. But Eugenia Cooney, she's also a YouTuber and a streamer, and she also does TikToks, and a lot of people think that her lifestyle is very controversial, and I'm not going to go into detail. I think we all understand why it's controversial. So Jeffree Star invites Eugenia Cooney over to his ranch, and they seem to be, you know, getting along pretty well. A lot of people felt like Jeffree was kind of being mean to her. I kind of agree. Like, I feel like there were some snide remarks, but they seem to be having the time of their lives. But the reason why this was so controversial is because, well, one, everyone thought that Eugenia was doing better health-wise while she was with Jeffree, which is like, wow, who thought Jeffree would be the one to help Eugenia Cooney? And two, after Eugenia Cooney had left Jeffree Star's ranch, he went live with a couple people and he made the joke about her being 5150'd, which is, I believe, involuntary commitment to like a psych ward.
All right, you guys, well. Bye, Eugenia.
5150, bitch.
Let's go.
Let's go.
Oh, wait.
And that goes back to what I was saying earlier. Like, a lot of times I feel like they were on live and he would say like some smart stuff, but she seems like a very sweet and, you know, I don't want to say naive, but kind of naive person, and I feel like stuff go over her head. But he kind of was saying a little stuff here and there. But also during that time, I hope this is a joke, but Eugenia has stated on live while she was there that Jeffree was her conservator. I hope that's not true. But I'm gonna put this as C. I thought this was kind of crazy, like seeing these two people together. I never would have thought they would ever be in the same space, breathing the same air at all. So before we get into our final event on the list, we're gonna do our honorable mentions. So first we have Colleen versus Adam and Friends, Doja Cat versus The Devil, Mr. Beast versus The Beast Burger, Aiden Ross versus Twitch, Barbie versus Oppenheimer, and last but not least, Pink Sauce versus The Company. Now back into our final event. Last but not least, we have Bored Ape versus the Yacht Club. So if you don't know what Bored Ape is, it's basically a NFT of a monkey in different positions, different clothes and everything, and they're apparently worth thousands of dollars. And if you owned a Bored Ape, you were invited to their Yacht Club party. But at this party, on the dance floor, there were lasers being, you know, shot around for cool effect. But these lasers were ultraviolet lasers, which are damaging to your eyes. So anyone who was in that crowd at that time had went blind partially and lost their sight for either hours or days. And Bored Ape did put out a statement telling anybody, like, if you're having issues with your eyes, obviously go check a doctor. But they tried to say it was like less than 1% of people who are affected by it. But it seemed like a lot of people. It did not seem like less than 1%. Like, I don't know how many people were at this party, but a lot of people were tweeting about how their eyes were like, they were blind or their eyes were burning and all this other crazy stuff. So I'm gonna put this at B, because that's kind of wild to me. They like left people blind and were like, just go to the doctor. Like, I feel like y'all should be held responsible. Why don't y'all know what kind of lasers y'all should be using? But okay guys, that is the end of this video. I hope you enjoyed it. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and comment, and I will be back in the next video. Bye.